Now I'm going to play the clip here. This is the slow motion close up. We get a good view of what happened. The cop's partner, and the car. Let's watch, and then we'll talk about it. I remember that sound is so familiar. Oh, it was Iraq around lunchtime. He would let us know. He'd let us know he was hungry. All right, I'm kidding. Oh, Iraq. Let us recall or remember that this is slow motion. And you have hindsight as to what happened. As you watch this, you know the ending. And slow motion is much easier to try to determine what might have been done during those moments as this is playing, but in slow motion. In real life, actual speed, in a tense moment of life and death like this, the people involved are thinking differently than you are watching 20 different angles, slow motion, this, that, the other thing. Let us remember that. These are in it. And there's no one out there besides these people that know exactly what was going on, what they felt, what they thought. When people say, oh, that cop, he couldn't have possibly thought his life was in danger. Shut the f up. How do you know? Put you there. You'd be going to all your friends that night. You'd be in the bar going, oh, shit, got run over tonight. But the cop, she wasn't even close. He could have this. He should have that. I would have this. You don't know. Let's just look at the clip and try to assess what we can based on us not even being there. All right? We could speculate, but it don't mean nothing. And I mean that for myself, too. I'm not, oh, I know. You don't know shit, but I know. I'm not saying it. I don't know shit either. But let's look at the video and try to see what's going on. And also, here's another thing you could add in. Precedent. Precedent. What happened beforehand with other cases similar to this? Other situations similar to this? Has there ever been an instance where a police officer was hit by a vehicle and injured or killed? Has a police officer ever been threatened with a motor vehicle and opened fire on the driver and was subsequently exonerated for his use of deadly physical force? Yes, it's happened many times. There is precedent. So when you look at a clip like this and you see a law officer, someone driving a vehicle that is coming at them, I don't care if it veered at the last minute, if the wheels were this way or that way. You could look at that, and I'm certain if this guy is indicted that the prosecution will bring these subjects up. But as a human being standing there in the situation, do you really think he's going, the tires seem to be moving to the right? The vehicle, I could try to jump out of the way. The road's icy. I might not have the right footing to leap out of the way of this vehicle. But is that really what you think this guy's considering? Or like many people out there, even you that are saying this guy did the wrong thing, put in that situation, would you maybe go, holy, we need to stop this person right now? Can you even consider that? I've read posts from people that I don't even think would consider that. They are in the mind of that officer and think they would know exactly, well, I do this, and I've watched the clip 100 times, and after the 101st time, I realized I would have done this and that and jumped, and you cannot put yourself in that officer's place. And I'm not even saying right now that it is a justified. I'm saying it appears to be, based on everything I've seen in subsequent situations like this. It seems to be. And I know that a motor vehicle is indeed a weapon. When they say an unarmed woman was shot, that is not true. That is dishonest, disingenuous, blatant lie. The vehicle is a weapon. Here's another thing. Her intention doesn't matter. Her intention does not matter. You don't know what it is. And with the bullets in her head, you pretty much aren't going to be able to cross-examine her and ask her what her intent was when she hit that accelerator with an officer in front of her vehicle. But it doesn't matter. What matters is what that officer believed at that time. He wasn't taking into consideration what her intention was. He took into consideration that she was driving a vehicle that was coming toward him, and he dispatched that issue. That's it. Oh, she didn't mean to run him over. Has no bearing on his actions. A lot of people love throwing all kinds of things into a self-defense situation, and especially a law enforcement officer's self-defense situation. You know, in some cases, cops are given more latitude as far as their justification to use deadly physical force to protect themselves or others than a civilian is. And in other cases, a civilian is given more opportunity and justification for using deadly physical force. It is an amazingly fluid situation when someone has to use deadly force to protect themselves or their loved ones, or as a cop, also protecting citizens that they don't know. There are so many variables, and they change by the microsecond during that interplay, during that situation. People think it's just this thing, it's a paper. Oh, self-defense? Let me look at the rules. Well, while there are certain laws that dictate what is justified, there are other things in that moment that absolutely matter. 1 second before someone uses deadly physical force and it's justified, the very next second it could not be justified. That's how crazy the laws are when it comes to defending yourself or an officer doing his job defending the public. And that brings up another part of this. And again, pop that video up. Let's watch that video again, because I want to bring up his partner. The cop that did the is in front of this vehicle. You can't quite see him here because the vehicle is still going left a bit. There he is. Now, there have been instances where a police officer is trying to get someone out of their vehicle. This woman has already been told she's under arrest and to get out of the vehicle. This officer is trying to open the door and extract her from the vehicle. There have been plenty of instances where this happens and the car takes off and the cop is caught up in the door. The perpetrator has a hold on their jacket. The officer reached in to grab the keys or the door lock and is now in the window as that car takes off, completely endangering that officer's life. Now, you have to assume that the officer in front of the vehicle is seeing this. Now, with all the talk of which way the tires are, was the officer in front of the vehicle actually in danger? Could he have stepped away? Disregard every bit of that. Disregard it. He saw his partner in a situation that many times results in an officer being dragged by a vehicle, trying to open the door, trying to extricate that perpetrator that has been told to leave the vehicle. And he's doing his job protecting his partner. He don't know at that point. Am I going to now watch my partner being dragged down the road, half out the window? And he took action right there and shot her through the front windshield, through the driver's side, right before the windshield post on the vehicle, and dispatched her right there. Now, all in the world you could talk about after that shot was fired. Well, he let go. Well, she missed him. Well, this, that. Does not matter. What was in that officer's mind the second he took that first shot? It looks like his partner's in danger. He's in danger. She's not stopping. She's under arrest. She's not exiting the vehicle. He don't know she's a poet. She knows she's married to a woman, a lesbian. She don't know she was just there for this, that, or the other thing. Put all that out of the picture. I think if there is a group of people, a committee, the police department, any investigative team that looks into this, they should not find him liable for anything as far as her losing her life that day. Just should not happen. Should not happen. And I hope they don't use this as some political tool to try to, so this doesn't happen again. We've seen so many cops being put in jail or fighting for their lives. They're exonerated, but their careers are done. Their lives are over. They're broke. I hope we don't see that in this case, because it happens a lot. These trials, if they ever get to a trial, are politicized, and we don't need that. These guys are out there. They're being with while they're trying to do their job. This is a job. The president of the United States was elected by a majority. He won every swing state. He campaigned on a platform that we are going to seal up the border and deport all these, as many as we can, during my tenure as president of the United States. This is no surprise. He didn't just come out and say something. Everyone's like, where did this come from? He ran on this platform. And as he does his job, and as these law enforcement officers are sent to these places to do that very job. There are politicians saying that it's illegal and that these people are villains and they're coming after you, legal Americans. And then you get a situation like this and they try to spin it like, see, they're American citizens. Yeah, American citizens that interfere with federal law enforcement and attempt to do them bodily harm. Then, yeah, they will kill you. You know what you do? You don't do that. This is a woman who has 3 kids. She was married. Her husband died. He was apparently a comedian in Colorado. I don't know. Died in his 30s. I don't even know what that situation is. Then she married a woman, and she thought as a mother of 3 kids, it was a good idea to put herself in harm's way. We've seen these liberal women and men, but the women, they have no concept of reality. They have no concept of consequence. They hear the politicians and Hollywood, the celebrities they love. Oh, I love that show. I'll give credence to anything this says. They listen to all that and they feel they're indestructible. They're impervious to consequence. I'll aim my car at a cop. It's going to be a hoot when we talk about it later at the Dyke nightclub. Or you get 3 bullets in your face. But they don't ever think that there are going to be consequences like that. And there are people very close to this woman, relatives and whatnot, that have said, what the was she doing out there? What the are you doing? You have children. These are people with... You're interfering with a federal mandate from the president. That is awesome. I'm a dyke and I'm going to ice. You selfish duck. Now your kids are orphans. Great. Your husband died. And especially if your husband dies and he got kids, maybe you should think about what situations you put yourself in. Your kids depend on you. Now they're, God knows what, a grandparent. They got to grow up thinking, oh, my mother thought illegal aliens were more important than her own kid. Oh, that's great. 3 more kids growing up. Mommy didn't love me. She loved illegal aliens more than me. Little Vino, little Coppola. That's what happens. That's what happens when the girl sends you to the supermarket to do something. I don't do much shopping.